Last week was a sad time for anybody in America who believes in the basic tenet that justice is blind, that everybody in America is going to get equal treatment regardless of who they are. We saw from the very beginning of this trial that Alvin Bragg did not want to just target somebody based on criminal wrongdoing. He wanted to target somebody based on who they were. That's how he actually campaigned. Talk about somebody beginning their campaign with a bias, saying he was going to go after people, to use the weight of government to target his political opponents. Now, we know that happens in third world countries. That cannot be the norm in the United States of America. And I think that's what disgusted so many people, Republican, Democrat, Independent, that disagreed with not only the verdict, but the fact that the case should have never been brought to trial. And so when you see this weaponization of government against political opponents, starting at the top with Joe Biden, allowing his agencies to go after political opponents, encouraging Democrat DAs, conflicted judges. We've heard all the stories, the reports, a judge that donated to the campaign of Joe Biden. Talk about a conflict of interest, whose own daughter was making millions of dollars off of the trial. And yet here we are. This cannot be the new norm for the United States of America. And as Donald Trump said, he's going to fight this thing not only for himself, but for every American who could be the next person that they go after. And so this Republican majority is going to continue to go and look into the weaponization of government. We have committees, obviously, aggressively pursuing that, continuing to get transparency, bringing in witnesses. But we also are bringing legislation. You're going to see in the appropriations process us look at the funding of some of these agencies. You're going to also see policies that are going to be coming forward to address the abuses of power that we've seen. And so this is going to be something that continues. I know my colleague Juan Ciscomani talked about the open southern border, and we've all been talking about the perils of Joe Biden's policies, as today he tries to throw out another fig leaf to try to distract people from the failures of his own policies. I think most people in America now know Joe Biden, with a pen, could fix the problems that he created, and he chooses not to. He doesn't want to fix the problem. In fact, he actively opposed the bill that we passed through this House, H.R. 2, that would have actually secured America's border. He wants it to be open. But you just saw a couple of days ago yet another glaring example of the failures of the Biden open border policy. And that's when 2 more New York Police Department officers were shot by someone here in this country illegally. How many times is Joe Biden going to allow this kind of criminal activity in the United States by people here illegally that he's let in the door to injure cops, to kill people like Lake and Riley, before he actually works with Republicans to do something about it? Because ultimately the voters will have a say on November 5th in all of these issues. But if you look at the bill we brought forward just a few weeks ago, imagine this. We had a bill on the House floor that said any illegal who assaults a police officer in the United States of America is immediately deported. Do you know that almost 70% of Democrats voted against that bill? And then just a few days ago, 2 NYPD cops are shot by someone here illegally. And they don't want that illegal criminal to be deported. It's unbelievable how far left their party has gone. It's unrecognizable to most people in America. But again, that's what's at stake on November 5th. And then you turn to what we're doing this week, standing up for our military veterans, bringing bills, as we heard from, that are going to be really important to make sure that our veterans have the tools and resources they need when they come home after defending our freedoms, so that they're properly taken care of with the Milcon VA bill, and then, of course, the ICC bill, the rogue radical actions of the International Criminal Court going after Prime Minister Netanyahu with no justification. We're going to be pushing back on that. Initially, the White House was supporting that effort, and now they've walked away because their radical left in their own party does not any longer support the Jewish state of Israel. Well, we surely do, and we're going to be standing up for Israel and against radical actions like the ICC this week as well. With that, the leader of our party, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.